Hello and welcome to the Capability Advisor web assessment tool. I can bear in good news. The release 8.3 is releasing. We are finished with this version. And so I figured let's take a look at what you can expect and what new features are coming with this release. Let's start with little quality of life improvement. I've logged in as an organization account and I've gone to my trusty insert assessment form. When I wanted to insert an assessment, I would usually need to insert a project first. I would need to go to the projects, click insert, I get the whole form, I will fill it out, and then I go back to insert assessment and find the project I've just inserted in the drop down, and I will select it and then do my whole insert assessment filling out. Now I have this little drop down up here, and it says insert no project. Below, if you click on it, you can choose existing projects already, and there's the option to insert new project. If you select it, you get a little form, a little text box, and you can insert the project name like we would in insert project. So we go with release video, little typo, project, and that's basically it. Now, if you go down here, you will see this is new as well. Similar to how you had to insert project first, the report assessor you had to insert beforehand, or at this point, if you wanted the report assessor, you would need to go back, insert the assessor, set its type to report assessor, and the process was a little clunky. Now we've added this option. If you want to have an automatic report assessor, you just leave it ticked. And what the tool does is it inserts an assessor account. It does everything for you, basically. It names the report assessor for whatever the assessment name is, inserts it, links it to the assessment, etc. And little sneak peek, the major feature or the biggest feature of this release, instances. So we've added instance support. If you want to use it, you just click checkbox. If you don't, that's fine. You can just insert an assessment with one instance of each process of your chosen domain. But if you click it, you get a little menu and it shows one instance per process. That's fine. So if I want, let's say the supplier processes, I want to have 2 instances and maybe 3 instances for the management. That's fine. You just up the number, you increase the amount of instances, and you click insert. Done. We've now added an assessment with instances. We didn't need to add a project first. We didn't need to add a report assessor first. All in one form, very quick, very easy. And up here, you can see instance. Instance 1, I choose instance 2. It just swaps the data. It saves the data for instance 2. I've worked a little ahead. I've rated a few base practices with F. There's no notes in here. Change back to the instance 1. Now I see, okay, my note for instance 1. I see my weakness for instance 1. And my rating reset to L. Unfortunately, there's no F for instance 1, for example. Similarly, it works for the general practice. If you look at the notes, you can see, okay, instance 1 release 8.3 is the best. These are my notes. If I swap to instance 2, there's, okay, the rating reset, and I've copied over some notes. So if I just show you this real quick, I go back to instance 1. Here are the notes. If I go back to instance 2, okay, the notes are gone. I can select the practice. Instance 1, selected, I click copy, and it copies over my notes. Now this note is double. That's fine. If you had a note already in here and you wanted to copy over from the other instance, we wouldn't want you to lose the note, so it's just appending. And it leaves a little blank space here so you can clearly see, okay, this is what I've got before and now this is added, so I can maybe merge the two manually for some details. Maybe clear this up a little. By the way, this feature also works for between different processes. So if I go to sub 1, level 2, I've had some ratings here. I can go here and see, okay, I can copy from instance 2, month 3, 2.1.1, and from instance 1. And we have calculation, works the same. We have instance 1, and there's instance 2, the ratings, and there's a total rating. There's an aggregation method in the guidelines, I believe, and we've implemented this, so the total over all instances will be displayed down here. Instances work for word export. They work for both export and import of Excel files. Basically, everywhere where instances would apply, we have carried them over, and you can now use them. Great feature, and I know many users of the tool have looked forward to it and requested it, and now it's there. Since inserting a report assessor is now a lot easier, we've of course also added a small function to make working with them better. So when before you would go to copy to report, you would select your process, click copy, you're done. The only problem was it will overwrite whatever was in there. So if you check consolidation, our report assessor has now exactly the same notes as we have. But maybe your colleague has found something different. They have other findings and you want to merge, consolidate to the report assessor. The way of doing this now with the merge notes function is, so we have note for release 8.3, and I would go again to the copy to report. I would select my process, but I will select the merge notes function. Copy now, it will not overwrite, but as promised, we'll just append. So it has the notes it had before, but now it also has our notes appended. They are merged. Now everything is in one place. Everything is with the report assessor, which you can then now use for exporting and for benchmark generation. That's all up to you, but it's way easier to use. Another feature to help you during an assessment is the rating reminder algorithm. You might have noticed before when I showed other features, there's the little bar up top, and it changes when I rate something. So if I remove the rating here, it decreased. So if I rate it P again, it increases. So it shows you, okay, this is not full, you have not rated everything. Similarly, and or maybe tied into this, is the rating reminder. So if I scroll down here and maybe I think, okay, I'm done. I'm not in a state of mind where I realize, okay, the sub 9 process has more than 7 base practices. I would go to, okay, next topic. I will go to sub 8. And okay, what is this? 7 out of 9 rated. Are you sure you want to continue? Okay, now I'm starting to think, okay, there's 9 base practices. So I click stay. I scroll down and I see, okay, there's 2 not rated. When working with recommendations and rules, there comes a point where you would want to relate to a specific rule or recommendation. Maybe you have violated a rule and you want to write a text stating why you did so. At this point, you will need to open the square bracket, 1, 3, and so on and so forth, and it's a little tedious. So what we've done is we made these tags clickable, and they do a little shortcut where I, let's say, comment regarding violation of, and then I click rule number 2, and it inserts the whole tag in here, which is because, and so on and so forth. A little smoother, a little easier. You didn't see it because it was hiding behind my webcam, but if I remove it, you can now see there's this EuroSPI logo in the top right corner. This is the place where you can, if you have a server version, display your own company logo. Of course, that's not all. I just covered the main features. There's more features in this release, like a dedicated database for Power BI usage. So you can connect this special database to Power BI to access all the data within Capability Advisor. We have a weakness export. that lets you export and import weaknesses into ticket systems like Jira, and small bug fixes, small improvements, the likes. If you want the full information, check out the release notes. They are in the description or on the Capability Advisor webpage. That's all from me. See you in the next video.